Good evening. Hello, everyone. My name is Miriam Kareem, and I'm happy to welcome you all to our Tuesday leadership call. This is part two of a series that Coach Will is bringing to you guys. It is absolutely amazing. I'm super excited. It's supposed to be hot and wild today, so get your blue pens out and get ready. But first, a quick trip to the newbie corner. So, um, I wanted to kind of focus on something I was thinking about this morning about missed opportunities and limited thinking. Limiting belief is a hater, y'all. If you think you got haters, your limiting beliefs is a little secret hater that just sits in the back and just sneaks up on you and just gives it to you. Um, you could be limiting your potential by listening to those limiting beliefs. I remember a conversation I once had when someone told me out of their own mouth, I can't say shrimp, I have to say scrimp. And I was just like, but you just said it, and it just, that part was just like, wow, okay. But limiting beliefs can hold you back again from your potential. I recall another opportunity that presented itself to me when author Patricia Volk asked me if I could make the Schiaparelli bow knot sweater. And if you all, I posted it today on my timeline, go take a look at it. But I talked with her. She showed me some pictures. It involved some techniques I had never done before. And actually, it was a lot of stuff I'd never done before. And a limiting belief that I couldn't do it was lurking in the back, hovering like a full-fledged hater. Like you can't do that. You might as well just give it up. But long story short, I studied the photos. She wanted the design to look exactly like the photo in the antique book that she had. I blew them up to see exactly every stitch, just to see how I could do this. And I was able to do the sweater exactly how she wanted it. And a note here is just sometimes when you take small steps and get things under a microscope just to see each little component, it's not as scary. It becomes more doable in your mind and will defeat that hater of a limiting belief. So um, I even got this woman's trust to spend her money, and to buy the yarn up front, and it was like really expensive. She didn't want cheap yarn. She wanted really expensive. So it was like in the hundreds just for the yarn, not for my time and my effort, just for the materials. So but I put myself in the zone. I worked and got it done. When she opened the package, she screamed, "Oh my God." When she collected herself, she wrote me a note, and she thanked me for creating that dream of having that sweater, um, that she always wanted to have, that she had only seen in an antique book. And she took the sweater on her book tour, and the book tour was entitled My Mother, Schiaparelli, and Me. So when you overcome limiting beliefs, you make an impact in your life and in um, the lives of the people that you serve in this industry. Don't say that you can't teach an old dog new tricks, or I can't learn how to do that, or I'm technically challenged, or whatever. Don't say that. Say, how can I do that? Or how, it's more challenge yourself that you can do it. You are able to do it. So that being said, I'd like to introduce you all to our teacher tonight, Coach Will Zanders. He is loves to have fun, a great teacher, always kind of knows how to get the message across to make you most effective in your business. He is a multiple seven-figure earner in the green organics companies and in network marketing. So, Coach Will Zanders, are you available, sir?
I am, Miriam. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
All right, perfect. And thank you so much for that. And ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor. Show Miriam some love in the chat, please, as well as Coach Marcus and Sydney as well. They really have be making the magic happen to get these Zooms up, to get the recordings up for everybody, and to get notes available so that y'all can not only take your own notes, but not miss anything, but also to be able to focus on the information. Because if you like this writing the whole time, thinking about writing, sometimes you're missing some of uh, some of the key points that can help you in your business. And also to just want to give a quick shout out to Charlotte Tina and Chelsea as well, who have joined us on this call. It is always great to see leadership from various teams, and the Detox Divas is always fun. Those ladies are always super busy, but when they can make it on, it's always fun to see leadership from the whole company hopping on and supporting each other. And because we have so many amazing people in the chats, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all have any questions, you can just put those right in the chat. And we've got at least half a dozen six-figure earners on the call, if not more. And they know all the information. They can get you some, get you the answers you need to your questions right there in the chat. And it's always important that when you're getting information in this industry, you want to make sure you're getting it from people who have the results that you want. And that is such a blessing, such a wonderful thing to have so many talented builders, then up and coming leaders as well. I see you, Isaac, you know, he's like at the $40,000, $50,000 mark, stuff like that. We have the up and coming leadership that is on the call as well. That are the next generation of I think top earners and top leaders in this industry. And we're very, very fortunate to have them right here with the Green Organics family of companies. That's crazy. And I'm excited about it. So let's dive into the information. We have a lot to cover tonight, ladies and gentlemen. On our first call, if you were here, if you saw the recording, it was covering all of the foundational things that you need to really be able to internalize and utilize this information over the next couple of classes. And this will get you well where you need to be in time to attend our Nashville boot camp on September the 12th, 13th, and 14th. You know, that's our last boot camp per se of the year that you don't have to qualify for, that anybody can attend. So I highly recommend you get there online, preferably in person, because of the reasons we talked about on the last call about the law of proximity that were covered as far as the research and the studies that were done that showed that if you are within 25 feet of this again, I just want to recap this one part because it was so important. If you are within 25 feet of a top performer, your performance, production, and income will increase by double digits, okay, by double figure percentages. So just understand that being in the same physical space as people who are top performers in whatever industry you want to be in, you need to be in a physical space. I did a lot of research on the online stuff as well. And they tried to figure out if it would work the same as online. And the answer was no. It takes 10 times more being around someone online for less production. So I wish it was an easier way to do it, ladies and gentlemen, but I cannot recommend it enough. In 6 months, March, April, May, June, July, August, you got over 6 months to get your commissions up and everything. And I was actually on the phone today with a couple of different venues. They're sending us some proposals. We're going to send some back. So hopefully we will have the venue for you within the next week and a half, maybe. So I'll let y'all know as soon as we get that locked in. And we are looking at hotel venues, even though they're more expensive. We're looking at hotel venues because y'all told me it's a lot easier for y'all to stay at the hotel and just walk downstairs to the actual event. So I'm really, really excited to get that going for y'all. And we will have updates for you really, really shortly. But get your tickets while they are available. We can only fit so many people in the room. All right. Now, let's dive into the information. Ladies and gentlemen, and shout out to everybody who already got their tickets. I see you. Just excited to see y'all again in person. I cannot wait. Cannot wait. Okay. So when going into business, all right, when going into business, ladies and gentlemen, number one thing you want to write down tonight: never go into business without an unfair advantage. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. If you can help it, never go into business of any type without an unfair advantage. Okay, now here, especially with the calls that you're on in this series, you're gonna have several unfair advantages, and we're just gonna start off with one tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, what you know is that in order to get something accomplished, in order to get your prayers answered, in order to manifest anything on this physical plane of reality, you have to operate within the 3 realms of existence. And we showed you this scientifically on the last call, but we also showed you scripturally in the Bible, in the New Testament, where you see the multiple planes of existence. I don't have time to go back over that tonight. You can watch the recording. There is a physical plane of existence, okay, where you can touch the physical plane of existence, okay? There is a mental plane of existence. And this is where the strategy takes place. This is where you're thinking, okay, this is the algorithm. This is how I learn how to build the business. These are my skills that I'm acquiring mentally that I can use physically. All right. But then you have the spiritual plane of existence, ladies and gentlemen. This is so important. Most people in our industry start off with the physical plane of existence. All right, I'm gonna just go talk to people. I'm gonna just do the physical stuff. I'm gonna go make some posts. I'm gonna go talk to people. I'm gonna get my products in the marketplace. I'm gonna set up my auto ship. This is physical stuff, okay? Work. This is the work of network marketing. Most people in our industry will start with that, stop with that, and they will fail. And they're not failing because they're not doing the right stuff. They're failing because they're only operating on one plane of existence, but you're not just a physical body. You have a physical body, you have a brain, and then you have a spirit. There are three phases, three planes to your existence, okay? Now, some people will get started in our industry. They will start doing the physical stuff. They'll start doing the work, right? We're going to do the work. We're going to do the work, okay? But it's network marketing. We got to do some work. But they'll get lucky. They'll learn a couple of skills, maybe read some books, see a video or two that kind of makes sense. And they're going to get a little bit of the mental part that goes with the physical, and then they're going to get some results. They are going to get some results. The problem is, and a lot of y'all are on this call, I know it, because I've seen you get results. I've seen you make your first 1,000 or two, some of you 500 pretty quick, 2,000, 2,500. Then you see like a little plateau and you're still trying to do the same stuff you did to get to that level. See, I'm talking to her. Notice that I'm talking to a bunch of people. I'm talking to myself years ago as well. Okay. But you'll get the skills. You'll be taking the skills that you get in the mental realm, right? Reading the books, attending the trainings, taking notes and implementing that. Okay. Learning about the products. This is all mental. Then you'll start doing the physical work. It'll work. But then you're going to hit that wall. Bam. And you're like, oh, I'm stuck. I've been doing everything that I've been doing, but it stopped working. No, it's not that it's stopping working. It's fulfilled its purpose, and you being called to ascend to the spiritual plane of existence to get you to the next level. That's the only way you're going to stop the plateaus. And it normally happens around 2,500, 5,000, somewhere up in there usually. Some of you who've been doing this a while, it'll hit you around 25 to 50,000. 25 to 50,000, you'll run into that wall and it's like, oh, I'm just doing the same stuff, but it's not working anymore. You're missing the point. It's time for you to evolve and go to another level. So one of your, and again, you can't maintain royalty type income, residual, ongoing residual income for a long time in this industry without all three planes of existence, the physical, the mental, and the spiritual. Okay. Now, luckily for you, you're a human being and you can do that. Okay. Now, here's the thing. So that's part of your unfair advantage, is that there are three levels that you have to be operating on, period. You just got to understand this stuff. All right. This stuff is the stuff I'm teaching you right now is better than 99.99% of the MLM events and training that has ever existed, because I didn't know this. And everything I'm telling you, when I hit the wall years ago, when I couldn't, it was because I didn't know this stuff. So you'll be able to kind of just ease on through it. All right. Now, here's the thing. All God's creatures, every creature God ever made on earth, God is great. Listen, every creature has the ability to instantly survive and in most cases thrive in their environment. If you look at a great white shark, the great white shark is the same whitish, gray, bluish color as the water that it swims in. By the time you see it, you're dead already. It can survive perfectly in its own environment. Okay, so just understand that. All right, it's geared to survive and thrive in its environment. You got to understand that. A brown bear in the forest, when a brown bear is born, within a couple of months or a year of living, it can hunt, it can fish, it can climb trees. It's really fast. It can swim. It can survive in its environment. Okay, it got big claws and teeth, and it's fine. It's totally fine in its environment. If you look at a scorpion in the desert or an eagle flying on top of the mountains, they can thrive in their own environment. It's the same thing with an alligator. The alligator isn't in the ocean. The alligator is in like swamps and some rivers. It's the same darkish green, brown color as the banks and the water. And the alligator is equipped to do exactly what it does. That's why the tail is there as a rudder to swim. The alligator's eyes are equipped to see at night, to see underwater. They have little coverings that come over. God's creatures have the ability to survive in their own environment. And the only time they can't is when predators are there, and that's a part of nature, predators, but animals still survive. Or when we as humans, we become predators, or we take them out of their environment and domesticate them, and then they get sick and die. But God created his creatures to do that. Now, here's the crazy part, because God made creatures able to mimic their environment. Even a chameleon can climb a tree branch and turn colors. Even a cockroach is going to be the same color as the dirt and the darkness that it likes to operate in. So it can be safe and not be seen. You know what I'm saying? You got to really understand the way how perfect God made creatures, from the earthworm to the blue whale. It's just what it is. Okay. Now humans are different. Humans are different, ladies and gentlemen. We are different. You've got to understand that. Will, what does it have to do with network marketing? We're talking about the spiritual element that you probably are missing. And that's why we're going to start off these next two classes with the spiritual element. Then we're going to go over into the mental element. Then the last two classes are going to be the physical element, because that's stuff that you pretty much already know, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. But we got to start with the spiritual foundation, because this is the hardest part. All right. This is the part that people don't get. Now, humans are different. If a human being is born into any environment and left alone for any amount of time, they dead. It doesn't matter. We don't have no thick skin. We don't have sharp claws or teeth. We can't climb good. We're not fast. We goofy and awkward as far as animals are. Like, animals look at us like, that's the goofiest, stupidest looking thing I've ever seen. It serves no function and no purpose. If you put a human being in the forest, even a 6-year-old or a 12-year-old, it's dead. You put a 30-year-old human being in the ocean, he dead. You put us on top of a mountain, we gonna freeze to death and die. We can't even get off the mountain fast enough to live. We don't survive in no environment. We do not mimic any environment that we are placed in. Okay. However, we don't have supervision like eagles and owls. We don't have super hearing like the deer. We suck as far as animals go. God was like, y'all some real scrawny. That's why human beings had to be kept in the Garden of Eden, safe until they was grown and knew what was going on, because humans die everywhere. A germ, this tiny microscopic germ can kill. The bubonic plague killed millions of people. Just a little baby germ. It didn't even kill the rats. It killed the people. Like, so understand, human beings, we ain't all that. So be humble. But what did God allow us to do? We do not mimic our environment. We have the ability, because of our minds and opposable thumbs. This is the only thing we have that other animals don't. We can build, okay? But we have minds that are so highly developed in relation to the animal kingdom that we don't have to be physically super strong. We can build tools or guns or cars or anything else. God made human beings to create our own environment to match us. We don't have a bunch of fur like a polar bear, but we can build a heater, build a fire, or turn on some air conditioning. We can create that, okay? As a human, God gave you the ability to create your own environment. You can create your own environment. Animals have to mimic their environment. You have to create your own. And so we have to be responsible and understand that God gave us that gift. That is our unfair advantage on the planet, is that we can create any environment we so choose. You need to understand that conceptually. And it's no different in business. A lot of you have been trying to match the environment of the traditional economy. And that's why you're so scared. Oh, Will, the tariffs and the DEI. Oh my God. 100 years ago, they were screaming about the Great Depression. But some people who knew these spiritual laws became billionaires during the Great Depression. How is it possible that sometimes these economic things, the environment, okay, that's going on around you, you're not an animal. You don't have to match that. You get to create your own. Okay, I told you on the other call, do you understand that God gave you the ability to create your own dominion in business and in your house and everything else, you don't have a choice. You have to create your own environment, because if not, you're going to be dependent on the government or welfare or family members for your survival. Now, God didn't put you here to do that. So do not forget that God gave you the ability for Genesis dominion. He said, go forth and multiply and subdue the earth and have dominion over it. You got to understand dominion implies a domain. That implies a kingdom and implies something that you create. You got to make it yourself. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, but God gave you the ability. So over the next 7 classes, we're going to be giving you all the information you need on the spiritual, the physical, and the mental plane to create your own environment within this industry, okay? Now, 90% of network marketers, all right, and in business, they are going to fail within 10 years. That applies to traditional businesses, and that applies to network marketers as well. Any type of business that for some reason, okay, people are abiding by a belief, the hive mind belief, and it is statistics, okay, that 90% of network marketers as well as traditional businesses will fail within 10 years. These are statistics. But we know that we don't need to focus on that. We focus on the 10% that make it. That's us. It's just a little mindset shift. Well, 90% of network marketers are going to fail in 10 years. Why I'm worried about the 90%? That's not me. I'm with the 10%. I agree with you. Yes, you are 100% correct. 90% will fail. That's the statistics, but that's hive mind talk. We're over here with the 10% that make it. I want to hang out with the Coach Marcuses and the Coach Tinas, and I want to be the people that are buying houses and Ed Banks is buying cars. I want to be on that side with the 10%. No reason why I can't be. Okay, so just understand that, all right? Now, we're going to cultivate that. Now, I'm going to give you a word. The word is going to be gem, G-E-M, gem. Okay, we're creating environments out here, and the environment's got to start with the spiritual foundation, and then we can do the physical. We'll do the mental first, then the mental, then we'll do the physical last. All right, now gem, G-E-M. In order to take your unfair advantages into the marketplace, you have to have G. That stands for a growing niche, a gem, like a diamond. You got to have a growing niche, okay? E, you got to have an extraordinary pain or extraordinary problem. Okay, I like the word pain because it just has some type of emotional resonance to it. Nobody want to be in pain, but extraordinary pain or extraordinary problem. All right. And then M, you got to have a magic moment. Okay, the magic moment is the timing. The timing has got to be right for you to execute your unfair advantage in the marketplace. And never has it been easier than network marketing. Now, as far as the niche, okay, there are literally millions of people joining network marketing for the first time every single year. And then you've got existing millions. It's over 100 million all around the world. I think it's double figures just here in the States. And shout out to all our international team members as well. It's similar numbers for y'all. There are millions of people around the world and in your area, okay, that are involved in network marketing. All right. There are millions of people who want to make more money. All right. The niche is enormous. Okay. You may only have, let's say, for example, Will, I want to focus on weight loss. Cool. 50% of people are overweight. I got it. That's a pretty big niche, and the niche is growing. The problem is with weight loss, a lot of people, a lot of that 50%, they don't want to do nothing about it. They're eating donuts tomorrow. They're drinking sugary Starbucks coffee tomorrow. They're drinking Diet Cokes, pounding them back, not realizing that make you fatter than regular Coke. They don't want to do nothing about it. So you got to really curate your niche and choose well. Well, Will, I'm not worried about those people. I want the people that want these premium products that we have. Yes, I know, because we're those people. We are those people, okay? However, only about 20% of the population cares about their health enough to do anything about it. Okay, think about that. How many people at your job, if you got a job and you got 50 to 100 coworkers or whatever, how many people you see drinking health juice and using essential oils? When somebody does that, it's actually rare. It's actually rare in the workforce or in your own family. If you got a big family, with very few exceptions, it's like who's really at the Super Bowl party not eating all of the chili and the hot dogs and the chips and the cookies and the pies and the beers and I mean, come on, man, come on. So you know it's only about 20% of the population that really care about their health to do anything about it. Now, You got about 99% of the population who want to make more money. Okay, and that gets us over into the pain area. So the niche and then the pain. The pain or the problem is when you look at the niche, okay, people who want to make money is a huge niche. It's huge. It's huge because even the people that don't care about their health, they want to make money. Even the people who are overweight and don't care about it, they want to make more money. People are taking, and that's where you see the extraordinary problem that you can solve. You see an extraordinary pain that people are going through. People are picking up extra jobs, extra shifts, DoorDash, Uber, people giving plasma out here, people doing pyramid schemes, people doing high risk investments, people doing Powerball scratch offs. People are trying to make more money, and that's the whole category. So when you're looking at your niche and looking at what they're going through, the biggest niche right now just happens to be the niche of people looking for the money making opportunity. All right. Since 2021, when the scamdemic happened and COVID, this, that, or a third, it killed a lot of people. Okay, the vaccines didn't help at all. People were still getting hurt by viruses and stuff. A lot of us were very fortunate because we have strong, robust immune systems, and we didn't lose a lot of team members, but we had some team members that didn't make it, and it was unfortunate that happened. But just understand conceptually, okay, the mask wasn't saving these people. I hate to break it to you, there was a whole agenda behind the vaccine where people were taking the vaccine and then telling those of us who wasn't getting the vaccine, which is no problem. They were like, hey, you got to get vaccinated too. I'm like, but if you took the vaccine, it should work for you. So you shouldn't even have to worry about what I got going on with me. That was the stance I took, and I stood on business for years. Okay, so just understand conceptually, you get to do whatever you want to do with your body, but leave me alone about it. Okay, that type of uncertainty had people losing their jobs. People talking about the DEI stuff, they really should have been mad about that. I knew people that was working at clerks at Albertsons that said they would pay you 40% less if you didn't get vaccinated. They wasn't gonna fire you, but they would literally pay you 40% less. I was like, God, dog, man, that's brutal. This has been and look, the second y'all thought it was over, I'm sure they got something else coming down the pipe, whatever it is. Then you got the election happen. Then you got the DEI people. I didn't even know that was a thing. Now, why did I not know that was a thing? Because my economy, God has blessed me with this opportunity and blessed me with the desire to excel at the opportunity. He has blessed me to understand, and other top earners to understand the three levels of existence, the three levels. Even if you don't know them on purpose, they got top earners. Even if they don't know that these three exist, they're doing them on accident. So just understand, I was not concerned. I was only trying to help people get to the level of financial freedom I was at, to the point where I'm like, I ain't got to do nothing different. I saw some of my friends on Facebook that lost their jobs because they was with the whole DEI thing. I didn't even know what that was till Sydney told me about it. I was like, oh, that's crazy. I don't watch the news, so I wouldn't know. And so it was sad, but I'm like, dang, I don't feel bad. I did tell y'all about network marketing 10 years ago. And you told me you had a good government job and all you had to do was get hired at the government job and you was going to ride it for 30 years. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Stop. Okay. So understand, this is the most unstable time. This is the most unstable time in economics. So people have a huge problem of job security and being able to pay their bills because they don't know what's going to happen. Now, lucky for you, network marketing exists outside of the traditional economy. I'm going to say that one more time. Another unfair advantage you have if you take this industry seriously, your paycheck operates outside of the traditional economy. Okay, the stock market crashed. So what? So what? So what? So what? My neighbor is still buying black seed oil because they want to be healthy. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, people got fired. That's unfortunate. Okay, but that's one of your unfair advantages that you have over all other types of businesses. So even the people who say, well, I don't do network marketing, I'm gonna start my own business. That's fine. You're gonna have a 90% failure rate just like network marketers would. The only difference is you're going to spend a lot more money to start a traditional business than we are over here. You're going to go in debt. You're going to take a mortgage out. You're going to refinance your house. You're going to be taking out a loan from the bank to try to start a business and learn how to do it and pay 25 grand for our franchise. We don't have to do that, which leads us to the magic moment, the third part in the M. We talked about the growing niche, it's huge. We talked about the extraordinary pain that people are going through, and we can help them. Because I know top earners in network marketing that were making six figures and multiple six figures in 2021, 2022, when COVID happened, 2023, 2024, when things were cool, 2025, when everybody's getting fired and everybody's scared and the stock market's crashing. Top network marketers are still making top network marketing money. So do not forget that you have an opportunity for income that exists outside the unstable traditional economy. You can do both. Do the job too, do the investments too, do all that. But take this network marketing opportunity very, very seriously because it is, okay? Now let's go to the magic moment. This is very important. The timing has got to be right, okay? Bitcoin in 2013, the timing was something else. We didn't know. We didn't have information like we have now. Network marketing, it's the timing, okay, that is so valuable right now. There is, listen, this is once in a generation. I don't know how to explain it to you. I wanted to take advantage of it. This is like Amway in 1978. It's just something special about it that you get a chance never before as a person with almost no money. I'm talking 10, 12, 20 bucks, almost no, little bit of money, a little bit of time, maybe an hour or two a day, tops. A little bit of money, a little bit of time, and a lot of desire. Never before has a person with a little bit of money, a little bit of time, and a whole lot of desire, okay, got to combine, partner up with world-class companies that are going to take all the legal liability, by the way, and all the upfront investment, all the risk. You get to partner up with the Green Organics companies. And when you do that, plus social media, plus AI, plus a community willing to teach you how to solve extraordinary problems for a bunch of people, you're not going to have an opportunity like this again. And everybody who lost their job, my heart goes out to them. Everybody who's going to lose their job, my heart goes out to them too. Every last one of them. Why? Because we're not doing our job. They think that Uber or DoorDash is a better opportunity than network marketing. That's our fault. That's our fault. Do the tariffs affect Green Organics? They never have. There are tariffs every year. There are tariffs under every president for the last 20 years. The only difference with right now, the media is showing you the tariffs because the media liked President Biden, but they don't like President Trump. So when President Biden did something wrong, as all presidents do, they're not going to tell you what he does wrong. When President Trump does something wrong, which he will, because all presidents do something wrong. They ain't perfect. None of these jokers, none of them is perfect. The media will just tell you now. That's the only difference but they all screw ups. I mean, they're all human, so they're going to make mistakes, but whatever. It's not going to, put it this way, they're not going to pay your bills for the next 2 years. They're not going to put your kids through school. They're not going to pay your medical bills. They're not going to save you. You have the ability to create your own environment. Remember that word, your. Remember that word, because it's going to come back later. Your own environment. We're going to come back to that, okay? So when you look at what's going on and you have the ability to do it, okay? Yeah, we good to go in Green Organics. We fine. I hate to break it to y'all, that team out of North Dakota, they don't even have no team members in other states or other countries. It's just them. And they beating them leaderboards to death. They are beating them to death. Y'all seen it, right? That's just one state, and it's a small state. So it doesn't matter what city you live in. Some of y'all live in Texas, Florida, New York. You live in big old states. You could live in a teeny tiny state like Delaware or North Dakota, okay? Coach Tina's in Iowa, I believe. Okay, that's not the biggest state in the world. She about to hit 500,000. You're putting too many limitations on. Whoa, nobody in my town's trying. None of that matters. That's all lies from the pit. That's all stuff that's infecting your spiritual stuff. We're going to work through it tonight, though. Okay, so if you have an ordinary problem like an Uber driver or a teacher, and we love our teachers, or a cop, it's a cashier, you're going to make ordinary money because you're solving ordinary problems like hit the buttons, put the groceries in the bag. That's not really a big problem. I can do that myself, actually, but whatever. But if you solve extraordinary problems, like a lawyer, you don't want to go to jail, you're gonna need a lawyer. You got a surgeon and something about to happen to you, you get in a bad car wreck, you're gonna need a surgeon or a doctor. That's an extraordinary problem. So you're gonna get paid extraordinarily when you solve extraordinary problems. A family about to go hungry and using their credit cards to buy groceries and gas, which is what some families are doing right now, that's an extraordinary problem. In America, that's crazy. That's an extraordinary problem. So you get a chance to solve extraordinarily difficult problems for people so you can get paid in an extraordinary way. Okay. You don't have a lack of money problem. You have a lack of problem solving problem. All right. So, and two, you got to remember your why. You got to remember your why, whatever your top 20 reasons why is, you got to reconnect with that on a daily basis. Another thing I tell you as we move on to one of my favorite stories about the spiritual plane, I actually shared this in our Bible-based personal development class the other day. Here's the thing, out of network marketers, 80% of network marketers are going to fall in love with the product, and that's totally fine. As far as how you build a business, you're going to build a business totally around product sales, sell, product. I love these products. People should love these products too. Product. Y'all are typically, not all of you, but most of you will hit that plateau pretty early. Couple $1,000s in, 10 grand tops. You're gonna, unless you're like a social media superstar, you're gonna run or have a lot of network marketing experience, you're gonna run right into that product wall because that's all you've been doing is product. And it's worked. It's got you 5 to 10 grand, but it's gonna be real tough getting past that. Now, in order to get past that, you got to be you're part of the 80% of good network marketers that are really falling in love with the product. To get into the next echelon, you have to fall in love with the pay plan. And don't worry, part of our mental training, I will be giving you a deep dive in class 1 on the GoDasana pay plan and class 2 on the HBM pay plan. You will know every black belt ninja trick and secret on these classes. Whiteboard, no, I'm gonna be telling you what to write down. You cannot screw this up. You got to really fall in love with the pay plan, and that'll put you in that next bracket because about 16% of network marketers fall in love with the pay plan. I was one of those, right? Which is why I know it so well. Now, if you want to go to the top though, there's only 4% of network marketers. Of course, we love the product. Of course, we love the pay plan. We know it very well. But only 4% of network marketers are going to fall in love with the problem and therefore the solution. All right. You want to be one of those. I personally love the fact that when I get to sit down over a cup of coffee with somebody, I'm helping them solve their money problem, the number one thing that's plaguing their family since 2021. Okay, their student loan debt and everything else. I am excited and passionate because I love the solution that we provide with our products and our pay plan. I love the problem that I'm solving. I love that we get to help people solving this problem, and I love the solution to the problem. I get fired up because I know that we can help people make that first $100,000 online. And once they get that first 100,000 online, we want to teach them how to make 100,000 every year, but they got to get to that first 100,000 first. We're really good at that, by the way. And so that's the point that you want to be one of the top 4%. You got to fall in love with the problem and the solution. Some of you fall in love with the products and never let go. You don't even know the pay plan. You've been here a year. You don't even know the pay plan. Halfway, not no way. You know you get paid. You know the direct deposits be hitting, but you don't know the pay plan. You just don't know. Some of you are losing, and I can see, not everybody, but I can see enough of y'all back offices to know, if you just knew the pay plan, you'd be at 100 grand instead of 30. You'd be at 26 grand instead of 4. That's how big the gap is when you're doing the volume and you're not being paid what you're worth. And listen, don't tell Paul I said this. The company has no incentive on teaching you the pay plan. They put it out there. If you don't want to study it and learn it and break it down, well, we'll do it for you on not the next class, but the class after that. I think that's next Tuesday. But the company is making the same amount of volume. You got people, I'm not saying no names. I know people personally that have done hundreds of orders. They should have been diamond and platinum a long time ago. They should have been getting bonuses every Monday for those ranks, but they're proud. And they're like, I don't need to learn structure and strategy. I'm just, because they're happy to make the 5 or 10 grand a month they're making. They don't know it's supposed to be 25. The company doesn't care. The company is getting the same volume. You're just not getting the full range of bonuses because you don't know structure, placement, strategy, algorithm. You're leaving so much money on the table, but y'all are not because we're going to get you tuned in over these next couple of classes. So you're gonna some of y'all need it today, and some of y'all gonna need it tomorrow. So we'll cover that when it's time. Now let's get back to the spiritual plane. My lovely little 4%ers, my 4%ers. That's what y'all are, because y'all understand the 3 planes of existence, and y'all understand that you got to love the product, the pay plan, and the problem and the solution. You cannot leave anything out there. All right. So here's a story. I told this the other day, but it bears repeating. How we looking on time? Oh yeah, we're good. We'll be finished right on time. And this is from the book of 2 Kings, chapter 4. Now, this is one of my favorite stories in the Bible. You know, the Bible is my favorite personal development book. But it's the story of a widow who seeks help from the prophet Elisha because her husband had died and a creditor was coming to take her 2 sons as slaves. All right, here's the story. 2 Kings chapter 4, verses 1 through 7. Now there cried, she already crying. Now there cried a certain woman of the wives of the sons of the prophet Elisha, not Elijah, Elisha, his successor. All right, you see a lot of network marketing stuff there when Elijah the prophet chose a successor and trained him and gave him his mantle. It's duplication. You duplicate your result. Elijah the prophet was creating leadership before he went on to be with the Lord. So understand that, okay? So there cried a certain woman of the wives of the sons of the prophets unto Elisha, saying, thy servant, my husband, is dead. So she's a widow. She's crying about this. And thou know that thy servant did fear the Lord, and the creditor is come to take unto him my 2 sons to be slaves, bondsmen, because the dude died owing the creditors, okay? Second verse, and Elisha said unto her, rhetorical question, what shall I do for thee? Okay? And he says, tell me, what hast thou in the house? And she says, thy handmaid hath not anything in the house except a pot of oil. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we know that this was probably olive oil, but the Bible doesn't say that. Could have been spikenard, myrrh, frankincense. There's so many oils that were valued in the homes as medicine, cooking, all kind of stuff. So the Bible purposely doesn't say what type of oil. It just says oil. We think olive oil. We don't really know. Could have been anointing oil. We have no idea. But just know that the oil was an essential oil from some type of plant, and it had some type of monetary value. It wasn't motor oil for a car, all right? Verse 3, then he said, go borrow thee vessels from all thy neighbors, even the empty vessels, and borrow not a few. So he told her, go get a lot. Then verse 4, and when thou art come into thine house, thou shalt shut the door upon thee and thy sons, and thou shalt pour out the oil from your vessel into all those vessels, and thou shalt set aside that which is full. Okay, verse 5, there's only 3 more. Verse 5, so she went from him and shut the door upon her and her sons, who brought the vessels to her, and she poured out. Now pause right there. Do you see how coachable she was? Do you see how coachable and teachable this young lady was? She didn't say, well, I only got this little bit of oil and I don't want to go talk to nobody. I ain't got no friends. My neighbors, they wouldn't want to loan me nothing. She didn't do none of that goofy, self-defeating self-talk. She just got about the business. And in fact, in true network marketing fashion, she picked her two sons, U+2, and she delegated and gave them instructions as well. I'm gonna go do some work and collect some pots, but y'all go get some pots too. Jethro and Jimmy, y'all go ahead, get to work. And guess what? They were coachable and teachable. So you're seeing leadership and duplication from Elijah to Elisha. And then you're seeing Elisha be a good coach and a mentor to this just young widow. And she's duplicating, she's coachable and teachable. She's delegating as network marketers would do. She's doing hot marketing. She's asking people for small favors. Look, I'm trying to start a business apparently. Can I borrow some stuff from you? They're like, sure, why not? Can you do me a favor? And so here's verse 6. And it came to pass that when the vessels were full, that she said unto her son, bring me another vessel. And he said unto her, there is not a vessel more. And the oil ran out. So the oil didn't stop pouring out the one bucket until they ran out of vessels to put it in. Now here's my favorite verse. This is from Elisha. This was the man of God right here. Verse number 7. Then she came and told the man of God all she had done. And he said, go sell the oil and pay thy debt, and thou and thy sons live off the rest. So understand what just happened in verse 7. This is a man of God telling her, go, like, get up out the house. Go sell the oil. Selling is not a bad profession. People act like selling is such a big deal. That's the problem. They don't make no money in their business or network marketing. Why? Because selling repeatedly in the Bible is a godly thing to do. You're giving value to people. Okay, selling is a beautiful thing. And this is how God told the widow, you're going to go get out of debt. And look what he said, and live thou and thy children off the rest. You and your sons can live off the rest of the month. This is residual income at its finest. Okay, so essential oils, that's a God thing. I need you to understand that. Selling, it's a God thing. Say what you want to say. That is all programming by the hive mind to keep you broke. You at some point have to let go of the spiritual issue that selling is bad, that you're doing something to people, okay, as opposed to doing something for people, that essential oils and health and wellness and stuff, that this is not a lucrative profession. He could have told her to do anything. This is exactly what he told her to do. And you know what's the craziest part? 80% of this industry is women. 80% of the industry of network marketing is women. Y'all got essential oils out the wazoo. You're not following God's blueprint that he gave you to get out of debt and live thou and thy children off the rest. Notice, he didn't even tell her you got to go get married again, which was the custom back then. He said, lady, you could stay widowed if you want, but you and your kids will be squared away for the rest of your life based on this business that we're starting with oils and sales. What are we talking about? Okay, so don't think you just, if you don't get nothing else but that, it'll start to shift the spiritual plane of existence for you, and you can start taking internal pride in what you're doing. That is a God formula for success. You gotta go. You can't just sit at the house. You gotta go. You gotta sell the oil, get the products into the marketplace. You gotta get out of debt. Don't buy the Lamborghini yet. Get out of debt first, okay? Debt first. Get out of debt. Pay off all them credit cards. Pay off the house. Pay off the cars. Get it over with. And then out of all the money you got left, you can live off that. Because if you don't have a car note, you don't have a house note, you can live real good off $5,000 to $10,000 a month. I'm gonna say that one more time for my friends in the cheap seats. If you don't have no mortgage, so you do have to buy your house. You can rent all you want, but at some point I'm gonna need y'all to buy. Don't listen to Grant Cardone. I love him to death. Grant Cardone was in network marketing. Hear me clearly. It's okay to rent for now, but when you can, you're going to need to buy. Okay, it's just, I know we got property tax. I understand you don't really, I get it. Even if you got to buy 3 acres of land and you got to put a trailer on it until you build a house, it's better for you to own than it is for you to rent. Because at the end of that rent lease, they're gonna keep going up, just so you know. And at the renter, you're paying the mortgage for the owner. Okay, so we need you to own your own house, own your own car, and then at $5,000 to $10,000 a month, guess what? You'll be living a life better than most millionaires. I just got to tell you, it's the truth. All right, so that's the key takeaways. Let me see where we at on time. We're pretty good, but I just needed you tonight to start to shift. Okay, to start to shift your spiritual plane, to start taking pride in what you do, to understand how many people you can help. Okay, to understand how many people you can help, and understand that what you're doing has an anointing on it. There's a blessing on it. God gave you the blueprint repeatedly. But my favorite time is in 2 Kings chapter 4, verses 1 through 7. Okay, just a FYI. So don't let nobody tell you you in a scam or you in a scheme or this, that. That is not God speaking at all. And the person who would tell you that either knows the Bible and is actually lying, or they do not know the Bible at all. They don't know the spiritual plane or spirituality at all. And that's the type of person who is a very dangerous person, because they think they're speaking for God, but they're not speaking the word. They're speaking for another party. They don't even know that they're a tool trying to talk you out of your dream. Now, let's finish this up strong. Let's dive into Bob Proctor a little bit. All right, I won't get overly churchy on y'all or nothing like that, but y'all do understand the concept. Now Bob Proctor, there's another part about you understanding the spiritual part, and this is going to tie us in and get us over into the mind on the mental side of it on the next classes. Now, Bob Proctor compared the brain into two parts, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And he compared them to a gardener and the soil. Okay. Now, the conscious mind is like the gardener. All right. The conscious mind is about that part of your brain. The subconscious mind is much larger part of your brain. And the conscious mind is the part of your brain that's the gardener. It chooses what seeds get planted. Okay. The subconscious mind is going to be the fertile soil. All right. It doesn't care what gets planted. It simply nurtures whatever is consistently placed there, whatever it is, good or bad. Okay. If you plant a thought, a seed thought of success, confidence, abundance, your subconscious mind is going to work to make those real. That's why your self-talk is so important, like we talked about in the confidence class series. Okay. If you, the whole recording is on YouTube with Coach Marcus, so you can see that. If you plant doubts and fears and limitations, those are going to grow instead. Okay. Now, here's the key. The power of repetition is how you program the subconscious. The subconscious mind learns through repetition, not logic. I'm going to say that again. The subconscious mind learns through repetition, not logic, not facts and figures. It doesn't analyze, it don't argue. It simply accepts what is impressed upon it repeatedly. I'm going to say that again. The subconscious mind, the part of your brain that makes stuff happen, it just accepts what is impressed upon it repeatedly. This is why prayers work. Consistent prayers and push, PUSH, pray until something happens. This is why prayers work, by the way. This is why people, the old school people do say, just keep praying, baby. Just keep praying. It's going to happen. And guess what? It eventually happens. It's the strangest thing. This is how habits form. This is how daily affirmations work. This is how visualization works. This is how repeated exposures to your desires, your beliefs, and your goals are so powerful. Okay? Look at brushing your teeth. Can anybody on this call go for 2 to 3 days without brushing their teeth and not feel really bad? Just feel crazy, just feel gross, just feel disgusting, just feel crazy, because it's an ingrained habit. You're going to do it once or twice a day, no matter what. It's a habit. It's just been drilled into your subconscious mind as repetition that this is what I do. When I get up, after I get up, this is what I'm going to do at some point. I'm going to brush my teeth. This is what, it's a habit. You got to drill your subconscious mind with success thoughts about network marketing to the point where you're getting up. I'm going to share something good with y'all. I know we'll see we're about out of time. I'm going to go a little bit long because I just want to finish this section and we'll pick it up on Sunday night. Okay. Now, Bob Proctor emphasized that most people are running on old subconscious programming. All right, this is the stuff that got you where you were. They're operating on. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate that. But they're running on old programming. Okay, that is picked up as children from the parents, from the teachers, from society, from the TV, from Hollywood, right? If you grew up hearing stuff like money doesn't grow on trees, or you got to work really hard to be successful, you got to work twice as hard to get paid half as much, from minorities and my ladies out there, all of that stuff became part of your subconscious. Just understand that, okay? If you went to the grocery store and asked something, your parents said, no, don't ask me for nothing. We ain't got money for that. And you heard that over and over again every time you went to the grocery store, just know it became part of your subconscious blueprint. And it's been affecting the spiritual plane of your existence, which is why when you do the physical work of network marketing and you learn the skills, it works, but it only works so long, so well, because you've never addressed the spiritual part, that your subconscious mind has been programmed with negativity, not on purpose, just the nature of living in a society like that, okay? So because the subconscious mind controls 95% of your daily actions, those beliefs are going to shape your reality, even if logically they aren't true. All right, just understand that. Now here's the good news. Repetition can override the old programming. So by intentionally repeating new beliefs, you're going to, by default, over time, just put the reps in, you're going to replace the ones that are limiting you. Okay, now here's what's going to happen. When trying to change a deeply ingrained subconscious belief, see, some of you love network marketing. You talk about it all the time. You got the t-shirt on, you're shaking and moving and you're happy, you go into events. But on a subconscious level, you either don't believe it'll work or you don't believe it can work for you on a subconscious level, okay? And so when you start trying to change, A lot of times there's a signal. Bob Proctor called it the terror barrier. When you're trying to change the spiritual plane of existence, you're going to eventually hit that terror barrier. It's a wall, it's a psychological wall of fear and doubt and discomfort and old limiting beliefs and scary stuff, right? And that's going to happen because the subconscious mind loves familiarity, even if it's negative. This is why when people get out of a toxic relationship, a lot of times they go right back, and it takes them like 10, 15 years to get out the toxic relationship anyway. Okay, it's the same thing with being broke. Some of you have a toxic relationship with money, but you just don't want to get out of it. You're not going to have the right auto ship. You're not going to get tickets to the event. You're definitely not going to show up to the event. You are in a toxic relationship, and you're going to make great excuses to not do any of this stuff. You're going to make great excuses to not do the stuff that the people who have the lifestyle you want to do. Why? It's not your fault. It's subconscious. Okay. It's comfortable being at the current financial situation you are on the spiritual plane. But outside of that house is your dream life, your financial freedom, your confidence, success, and everything else. But every time you start to step out, that comfort zone, that fear barrier, that terror barrier going to kick in, and your subconscious mind is going to send signals. Now, this is the part I really wanted to get to before we close. And I'm going to give you some quotes. But when you start getting ready to elevate, right there, even if it's a $5,000 mark or you hit the 50,000, right when you start hitting that plateau, it's time for you to double down. Okay, it's different for everybody, but it's time for you to double down. Why? Because the more you expose yourself to the new beliefs or actions, the weaker that wall becomes. If the big brick wall, it's got 1,000 bricks in it. Every time you have a thought or take an action toward the positive motions and actions, it's taking a little chip off one of them bricks and throwing the brick out the wall. And the whole wall got to go at some point. Now, here's what your mind will do. Listen to me very, very closely. What do you think is more powerful? Your brain that God created or a smartphone? What's more powerful? Okay. A lot of people think that and this is accurate, a cell phone that somebody made for 80 bucks at Circle K, you can get a trap phone for 80 bucks, or you can get a nice smartphone for $1,000. I literally can see you on this cell phone, on this laptop, on these little devices. I can see you even if you were in Japan, and you can hear me in real time because the smartphone and the laptop are sending signals, and the signals are being picked up by other smartphones and laptops. Here's what I got to tell you. Your brain runs off an electrical current similar to a phone. Your heart gives off an electrical charge, just like a battery. In fact, when you die, sometimes they're going to take the defibrillators, they're going to put them on your chest, put electricity in you and go clear. Then they're going to shock you and you're going to come back to life because your body is basically a large wet battery of sorts. Okay. But your brain is infinitely more powerful than a smartphone. Your brain sends signals outside of itself all the time. The same way a cell phone will send a signal through this wall, through that wall, over the ocean, all the way to Canada. Your brain is sending signals that are more powerful, and they're so much faster than a smartphone signal. That's why they're so hard to measure and clock without having an EKG, the thing where they put the little nodes on your head so they can measure your brain waves. Your brain is shooting out signals infinitely fast in thousands and thousands of numbers all day, all night, even while you sleep. Listen, I know it sounds weird. This is how the world works. When you send out signals of confidence, everybody around you is going to feel like you are a confident person. And they are going to be a lot more likely to do business with you, especially if you book the appointment the night before, because while you sleep, I'm giving y'all the game right now. While you sleep, your mind, your subconscious mind never sleeps. Why? It controls your heart and your lungs. They can't turn off. So it has to keep you, your subconscious mind has to stay awake even while you and your conscious mind are resting in a sleep. Your subconscious mind keeps your heart beating. It makes your hair grow. It's doing all the important stuff. It's sending signals to your body to keep rolling even while you're sleeping. But a lot of those signals are going to leave your head, just like a cell phone sends a signal through a wall. Your brain is more powerful. It's going to send a signal through your skull, out, gone. And that thought, that signal is going to start hitting other people. Okay? You got to understand that. This is why some of you have such a strong link with your children. Your kid has a bad day, you go, I knew she had a bad day today. Something just told me. It's a signal, and it's stronger connected with people who are related and people that you're married to, spend a lot of time with. Is stronger, okay? But just understand, conceptually speaking, all right, your subconscious mind is sending out signals to every network marketing prospect you will ever have. All of them. All of them. It's sending out signals right now and while you're sleeping, and it's sending signals to them while they're sleeping. And if you can just use repetition and use the affirmations that we teach and continue to follow this type of education and training, you're going to be working so much less hard, but you'll be getting better results. It's the strangest thing when you get your subconscious mind on board. Now, it's not an overnight process, but you have to make repetition your tool. You have to make repetition your tool. Your subconscious mind does not choose what to believe. You choose what to believe. And whatever you impress upon your subconscious mind with your thoughts and your self-talk and what you read and what you hear and what you say, and more importantly, what you think over and over and over and over and over again, will eventually shape your reality. Okay, let me give you some verses to wrap this up, and we'll pick this up on we'll pick this up on Sunday. Put a one in the chat if this information made any sense at all. We're still diving in to the spiritual plane. We got a whole nother class of spiritual plane teaching to do before we can move on to the mental plane. But you got to get this stuff down. You have to get this down. Okay. Romans 12, chapter 12, verse 2. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. It's a mental process of renewing that you have to go through using repetition to condition your subconscious mind for success. Proverbs chapter 23, verse 7. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. It's a thinking thing. And the Bible says right there, for as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. That word heart is not the English word for heart. Sorry, King James, he didn't have Google Translate. That word heart is a word from the land of Ur. It's a Chaldean word, and it means the subconscious mind, what the ancient Bible patriarchs in Abraham's day would call the seat of the soul. Okay, you got to really understand, as you think in your subconscious mind, that is what you are. All right, as you think in your heart, that is he. It's your subconscious mind, 100%. Bob Proctor knew it, Jesus knew it, King David knew it, Solomon, the wisest man who wrote Proverbs, he knew it. It's what it is. Here's Philippians, New Testament. Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. Okay, it gave a list of all of this great stuff to do with Philippians, and then it says, think about those. Think about all the good stuff. Do not think about the negative stuff, or you end up in a Job situation. Okay. Next up, 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 5. We demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God, and we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. Ladies and gentlemen, why would you have to take a thought captive if they couldn't do no bad? You have to take your thoughts captive. If it's a negative thought, you got to take it and shake some sense into it and start thinking right. You better get yourself right thought. You got to take your thoughts captive. Okay? Your thoughts are going to leave your head and go into your prospects, and they're going to ruin your whole business. Okay? Mark chapter 11, verse 23. Truly I say to you, whoever says to this mountain, be taken up and thrown into the sea, and does not doubt in his heart, but believes what he says will come to pass, it will be done for him. Okay? Matthew chapter 12, verse 34. For out of the abundance of the heart, the subconscious mind, The heart is a beating organ. It doesn't speak. So it says, for out of the abundance of the heart, it's the subconscious mind. For out of the abundance of the subconscious mind, the mouth speaks. The good person out of his good treasure brings forth good. And the evil person out of his evil treasure, okay, brings forth evil. It's the subconscious mind, and it can have good, positive thought or negative, evil thought. It don't matter. It's going to make it all come true. So you may as well have the good thoughts. Last one we'll get from the Bible, Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. Now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. This is a mental thing. This is a mental thing. And don't think I forgot my good Muslim brothers and sisters from the Surah Al-Ra'ad, chapter 13, verse 11. Indeed, Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. The only thing you have in yourself, it's not talking about your lungs. You can't change. You don't want to change that. It's your thoughts. It's your subconscious mind. That's what you can change. It says again from the Surah Al-Ra'ad. Listen, indeed, Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. No matter what spiritual side you want to go on, no matter what scientific Bob Proctor angle you want to take, I don't care if it's the Sanskrit, the Quran, the Bible, New Age, it don't matter. It all says the same thing, that your life is quite literally created by your thoughts on the spiritual plane. No, on the physical and mental side, you can't outrun your spirit. You can't outrun what you believe on a subconscious level. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we got tonight. We'll pick it up with part two. It'll be part three, but it'll be part two of the learning about the spiritual plane and how to shift it with no physical effort, to learn how to shift it so that your physical and mental network marketing efforts actually keep getting you the results that you want. So I will see y'all again on Sunday at 8 p.m. Central Time. If you're in the Bible personal development class, I'll see you jokers at 6:30. But everybody else, I'll see you at 8, and I hope to see everybody in Nashville September 12th through the 14th. If you like training like this, please be in Nashville. Some stuff we can only do in person. But I will see y'all no matter what. And then we have a great slew of calls tomorrow night. I think we got Coach Sonic tomorrow night. We got Coach Marcus and Coach Tina on Thursday. We're taking off Friday, and then I'll see y'all with Coach Marcus on Saturday night, and then I'll see y'all on Sunday. Good night. God bless. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all so much, and we'll see y'all on the next one. Thank y'all for bearing with me, even though we went a little bit over on time. I'll try to do better next time. Y'all have a good night, and thank you, Coach Marcus and Sydney and Miriam, for making sure that these calls go off without a hitch, so we can get the information to the people who want it, so we can see them achieve everything that they want to achieve in this world. Y'all have a good night. Love y'all.